Hello there, English learners. Today's lesson is not just about language, it's about real life. Have you ever wondered why so many adults seem exhausted all the time? Why parents, your teachers, your neighbors always look like they are carrying the weight of the world? In today's episode, we'll hear a touching and powerful conversation between a young boy and his father. The boy is curious. He wants to know why adults are always tired. And what happens next might surprise you. While you listen, focus on new vocabulary in context, real life expressions you can use in your daily conversations, the emotional flow of spoken English. Let's jump into it. Dad, can I ask you something? I don't mean to bother you or anything, but I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Sure, Liam. What is it? You can always talk to me. Why are you always tired? Like, really tired? Every day when you get home, you just look like you're done. You barely talk sometimes. You eat quickly and then just sit quietly or go to sleep early. And it's not only you that mom looks tired too. Uncle Steve, my teachers at school, even the people I see on the bus, they all look like they've had enough. Why is that? Why are adults so tired all the time? Wow, that's a really good question. Not many people ask that. It's something even adults don't talk about. You're right, we are tired, and not just physically. A lot of adults walk around every day feeling emotionally worn out, even when they've slept enough. It's something that builds slowly, like pressure under the surface. But I don't get it. Is it the job? I mean, I know you work hard, but is work that bad? Work is part of it, sure. But it's more than that. There are so many responsibilities that come with being an adult: paying bills, helping family, dealing with unexpected problems, planning for the future. It all adds up. And often, we don't even get a break to think or breathe. Some days, I feel like I'm just running on fumes. Like I'm going, but I have no energy left inside. So it's like pretending to have energy when you don't? Exactly. You put on a smile, you keep moving, you say you're fine because you have to. But deep inside, you feel like you're carrying a heavy load no one else can see. I try to stay positive, but there are days I feel like I'm in survival mode, just trying to make it through the day without falling apart. That sounds hard, but is that just what being an adult is? In many ways, yes, but it shouldn't be, and it doesn't have to be all the time. But society teaches us to keep working, to stay busy, to always do more. Resting feels like a luxury sometimes. You know, I haven't taken a real vacation in 3 years. Every time we plan something, something else comes up. That's why so many people feel burned out. They are doing too much, and getting too little back. But don't adults do fun things too? Like watch shows, go out, hang with friends? Sure, but even those things start to feel like chores when you're tired. And a lot of adults forget what makes them happy. They lose connection to what brings them joy. Sometimes they become disconnected from joy. And that's when life starts to feel empty, even if everything looks okay on the outside. So, adults are sad. Not always. We're not always sad, Liam. Many of us are just overwhelmed. There's this constant mental list in our heads: what needs to be done, what hasn't been finished, what could go wrong. We carry it all day, even at night. It's exhausting. And the truth is, no one really teaches you how to handle that when you grow up. You just figure it out or try to. That doesn't sound like what I thought adulthood could be like. It's different from what kids imagine. That's true. But there's beauty in it too. Even in the tiredness, there's love. You wake up early because you love your family. You work hard because you care about your future. And even if you are exhausted, there's something beautiful about being someone others can count on. It's just that sometimes the weight becomes too much, especially when people don't ask for help. And that's when fatigue turns into frustration. So, what helps? How do you deal with it? Talking like this helps. Being seen, being heard, resting without guilt, doing small things that bring peace. For me, it's our conversations, or watching a movie with your mom, or going for a walk at night. I also write sometimes when I can't sleep, just putting thoughts down. And also, knowing I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who feels this way. I never knew. I just thought grown ups were like robots. No, we're just kids who grew up and now have to pretend we've got it all figured out. But we don't, and that's okay. You know what really helps? When someone understands. When someone like you asks questions instead of just ignoring the signs. That kind of thing gives me a second wine. It reminds me that I'm not just working to survive, I'm living for the people I love. You mean me? Especially you. When I grow up, I want to remember this. I don't want to be tired all the time. I want to find balance, I guess. Then that's already a step ahead of where most of us started. If you know that now, you can build a life where you don't just function, you can thrive, and maybe, just maybe, be a little less tired. Thanks, Dad. I think I understand a little better now. Anytime, son. And hey, if you ever see me looking tired, don't be afraid to give me a hug or remind me to rest. Sometimes, that's all we really need. Alright, here are the 7 key expressions from the conversation, with meanings and examples to help you fully understand and use them. Number 1. Emotionally worn out. The meaning is to feel mentally and emotionally exhausted, usually after stress or difficult situations. For example, after months of dealing with his parents' divorce, he felt emotionally worn out. Example number 2. Teachers are often emotionally worn out by the end of the school year. Now, repeat after me. Emotionally worn out. Emotionally worn out. Number 2. Running on fumes. The meaning is to continue working or functioning even though you have very little energy left. For example, I haven't slept all night. I'm running on fumes today. Example number 2. After working 3 jobs, she was just running on fumes every day. Now, repeat after me. Running on fumes. Running on fumes. Number 3. Survival mode. The meaning is a state where a person is only focused on basic daily needs and getting through the day, often under stress. For example, after losing his job, he lived in survival mode for months. Example number 2. Single parents are often in survival mode, trying to do everything alone. Now, repeat after me. Survival mode. Survival mode. Number 4. Burned out. The meaning is to be extremely tired or exhausted, especially due to too much work or stress. For example, I was so burned out after finals week that I slept for 12 hours straight. Example number 2. She quit her job because she was completely burned out. Now repeat after me. Burned out. Burned out. Number 5. Disconnected from joy. The meaning is to lose the ability to feel happiness or enjoyment in life. For example, he used to love music, but now he feels disconnected from joy. Example number 2. When you are too busy, it's easy to become disconnected from joy. Now repeat after me. Disconnected from joy. Disconnected from joy. Number 6. Fatigue turns into frustration. The meaning is when tiredness is not managed, it leads to anger, irritation, or sadness. For example, after weeks of working late, his fatigue turned into frustration with everything. Example number 2. If you don't rest, fatigue turns into frustration and affects your relationships. Now repeat after me. Fatigue turns into frustration. Fatigue turns into frustration. Number 7. A second wind. The meaning is a sudden burst of energy or motivation after feeling tired. For example, after dinner, I got a second wind and cleaned the whole house. Example number two. Hearing the good news gave her a second wind to finish the project. Now repeat after me. A second wind. A second wind. Well done. Now, shadowing section. Repeat each phrase after a short pause, trying to match the rhythm, pronunciation, and intonation. Do this 2 to 3 times for each sentence to train your mouth and ears in real English flow. And not just physically. A lot of adults walk around every day feeling emotionally worn out. Some days I feel like I'm just running on fumes. I try to stay positive, but there are days I feel like I'm in survival mode. That's why so many people feel burned out. They are doing too much and getting too little back. Sometimes they become disconnected from joy, and that's when life starts to feel empty. And that's when fatigue turns into frustration. Instead of just ignoring the signs. That kind of thing gives me a second wine. Excellent. Now you will answer 3 questions about the conversation. You will be given some seconds to answer the question and then I will give you the answer. I recommend you to repeat the conversation part again before you go to this section. Remember, these questions are comprehension questions, and sometimes there is not an exact answer, but the main idea. Let's start. Question number 1. Why does Liam ask his dad why adults are always tired? The answer is because he notices that his dad, his mom, his teachers, and even strangers all look exhausted, and he wants to understand why. Question number 2. What does Tom say is one of the main reasons adults feel tired all the time? The answer is he says adults carry many responsibilities like work, bills, stress, and family problems, and don't often rest, which leads to physical and emotional exhaustion. Question number 3. What helps Tom deal with the tiredness and the stress of adult life? The answer is talking with loved ones, taking quiet moments, writing his thoughts, and remembering he's working for the people he loves, especially his son. Give him strength and a second wind. And that's the end of today's lesson, my friends. We explored an emotional and real conversation about why adults often feel tired. And through this story, you learned 7 new useful phrases that can help you speak English more naturally and deeply. Now it's your turn. Have you ever felt burned out or disconnected from joy? What do you do to get a second wind? Let me know in the comments below.